Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My gods and spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Aquarius in Libra season, late September? What's happening? What energies, messages, insights can we get for our good friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius, please. What is going on with these energies for my good friends? Here we go. Thank you. Okay, so I always find this card a little bit funny because this lady has a tree growing out of her head and there's fruits. And although this is a funky little unique image, I do feel like there's a beautiful message contained within, because it does connect to one's thought processes, ideas, creativity. It's a really lovely card. It just looks a little funny. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So we see this lady here. She's sitting there. She has a mask on, surrounded by books, and there's other little implements and symbols in there as well. But she does have that tree growing out of her head, and guess what that tree is doing? It is bearing fruit. So this is a fantastic type of energy when it comes to brainstorming, coming up with new ideas, whether it's business ideas or just ideas in general. I feel like for a lot of Aquarians in this time, if you have a great idea or eureka moment of any kind, write it down, because anything that comes to you in this time, whether it's how to solve a situation or finding solutions or just creativity, you name it, like anything that comes to your brain, and Aquarians are very good and active thinkers, I feel like you might strike gold when this energy starts to show up. Now, for a portion of you, this could all just represent feeding your mind, feeding your brain. If you've been in a time recently where you feel a little dull or a little drab, Spirit could be saying like, hey, just feed your brain, feed your mind. Everyone knows that Aquarians have very active minds, and you might just need to feed it a little bit. Now, a lot of times I tell people like, hey, get creative and express yourself. To me, this feels like the opposite, where you need to consume information, if that makes sense. So do with that what you will. We're just going to leave her down there. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Aquarius collective, please. And while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, talk about last week's reading, my friends. It was a nice bit of energy we were picking up, and the funny thing is these are weekly readings, but it's kind of like I was seeing things in the long term for you last week. The reading was titled A Massive Payoff, so whether it's something that you've recently started working towards or something you've been working towards for a long time, to me it felt like something's going to pay off for you in the end, and that came through very powerfully last week. So we're going to see what energies show up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? You know how tarot goes. Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aquarius, please. What is happening in late September? What is going on? There we go. Thank you. Yeah, Page of Wands. So similar to what I've been seeing in the other air signs. So let's get it going here. Get that page tucked in right next to that amethyst, so you could soak in the good vibes. Let's get a couple more cards out here. What do we got for Aquarius, please? Okay, 3 of Swords. So there's a bit of volatility here. I don't feel like it syncs the reading with what we're picking up, but we have the Page of Wands with the 3 of Swords. Are you going to hurt someone's feelings there, my friends? You're going to hurt someone's feelings. Okay, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So there could be fixing of something as well when we have this 8 of Pentacles right here on the back end. This could be good. For a lot of you, there could be a lot of things that you're mending or could mend in this time. I'm getting a lot of information just streaming just from these 3 cards alone. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, the first thing I always consider are the elements. We're starting with fire and air. That's a spark plug and that's explosive, but we do have this grounding earth right there on the back end, which can be really nice. So I guess it all depends on the specifics of your situation, right? This could represent other people. It could represent what you do for a living. So we could be seeing a lot of different things, a lot of different themes. So let's just go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, the beautiful Page of Wands. Now, I always say when it comes to all pages, they represent new. They're similar to aces in that way, where they could represent new opportunities, new paths, new anything, new direction. Pages are all students. They're all messengers. So that kind of ties in with what I was seeing with that first oracle card about consuming information. Now is a great time to learn any new things, new skills, whether they're spiritual or business, you name it. I feel like feeding your brain is a fabulous idea, and learning of any kind, especially with this Page of Wands. But again, they're communicators, they're speakers, they're talkers. And the Page of Wands, yeah, sometimes it could say things that it doesn't really mean. Sometimes this page can be a little more aggressive than it should when we're looking at the challenge of this card. Now, another challenge, because you know I'm always going to give you both sides of the coin, the Page of Wands could sometimes burn itself out. So just watch out for any situations where you might be feeling a little bit of burnout. Okay, when this page is here, take care of yourself, take care of your energy, because this is very much fired up. But moving to the center, we're picking up the Three of Swords. That's why I was saying, like, are you going to accidentally hurt someone's feelings, or did someone accidentally hurt yours? Because I can feel a bit of a harsh conversation showing up here, and we'll dig into it deeper, of course. Just know that that might be a possibility. But the Three of Swords is here. Now, I always say that this card is always a spectrum. This isn't always like a completely broken heart, terrible situation, red flag, warning, warning. To me, this could be something mild. For some of you, maybe you're just annoyed by something. Maybe there is something that's stressing you out a little bit. Maybe you're feeling a little gloomy. Some of you might be heartbroken when this card shows up. It all really depends. But again, this isn't a final destination. This is something all humans experience from time to time. And when I see the Three of Swords, yeah, there is discomfort here when it shows up, and we'll want to look into this further, that's for sure. Now, when we get to the positive of the Three of Swords, it's an energy that is not permanent. That's the positive of it. It's like a temporary type of energy, and it can be worked through, which is a good thing. And it could also represent healing. So for a lot of you, like, yeah, there might be some opportunities for healing here when this card is in the mix. But again, I can't let go of that. I feel like you might accidentally hurt someone's feelings, or someone might accidentally hurt yours. I just can't let that go. Moving to the back end, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Card of diligence, a card of work. So for some of you, this could literally represent career, or something you're putting a lot of energy towards, something you're working hard on. When we see this, we're thinking, all right, this is something I want to put my energy into. Now, if we're not talking about career or job or anything like that, or business, it could represent connections too. Like, this is a connection I want to fix. This is a connection I want to put energy into. It could be all of those things. So it's always important to differentiate and try to apply to your story as necessary. There's just a lot of effort and detail going into this card. So I do like it, and it is energy moving. That's the one thing I'll say, pardon me, that none of this energy feels stagnant as of right now, which is a good thing. So we'll want to look into this further. Now, when it comes into the challenge of the Eight of Pentacles, and yes, it could be repairing things and fixing things as well. This Eight of Pentacles could be somebody that works a little too hard, or is working a little too much, or is doing too much in general. Like, all right, this person's doing too much. Like, they need to tone it back. And I was seeing something similar in the Leo reading this week. So it's going to be important that you don't push too hard towards something. I want to dive deeper on all of it, though, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here. What do we have for the Aquarians, please? What is going on for my good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Page of Wands. What's happening? Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay. Page of Wands time. What's happening? Thank you. Ace of Swords. Wow. All right, so somebody might get a stone cold dose of truth in this time from you. All right, now I don't know why I feel like you're presenting as this Page of Wands this week. Everyone knows Aquarius is the water bearer and technically an air sign, even though you're the water bearer. but for some reason, I feel like you're going to hit somebody with like a stone cold dose of truth. Either that or this is a serious, firm type of conversation. You take it however it hits. But when I see the Ace of Swords, Sword of Truth underneath the Page of Wands, it reinforces what I've been feeling about this little connection I was seeing here at the top, because we got the fire-air combination once again, which could be very explosive. So I feel like it's either one or the other. Either you're going to hit someone with like so much truth that it ruffles their feathers. For some of you, it could just be a serious conversation that needs to be had as well. So just know, another thing with page energy, it could be very inquisitive. It could wonder about things. So if in your personal connections or anything going on, there's some information you want to know, or there's something you're wondering about, or something that's on your mind, bring it up. That's what this energy is saying, like bring it up and talk about it. Like if there's some piece of information that you want, because remember, that's another theme I've been getting all week, is like feeding your brain, acquiring information. Just know, with whatever situations you're going through, if you feel like you're missing a piece of information, you can get it. Okay, like this Ace of Swords is stone cold truth, and it's also a very serious or important talk or conversation. And this is something I've been seeing for the other air signs this week as well. Again, let's see what the Three of Swords has to say. I mean, I feel you possibly hurting someone's feelings, or someone doing that to you, which is not funny. I shouldn't be smiling about it. I just have a weird sense of humor sometimes. But let's keep going over to the Three of Swords. Let's see what that's about. So why is it here for my good friends? Thank you. And then feeling bad about it. And then feeling bad about it. Okay, so we have the King of Wands, which is a very, very similar energy to the page, but it's a little more matured. It's a little more developed. So I do feel all the things I've been saying are very possible for you in this week. But again, like with this energy here, I feel like after some self-reflection, somebody's going to be like, okay, maybe I was a little too hard there. Or maybe I came through a little too harsh. Did I do too much? Because these are very concise themes we're picking up. Now, I'm not saying it's definitely you. It could be someone else. But notice, fire, air. It's all here. It's all swirling. It's all very volatile. This one is all about fresh and new without thinking. It's starting real quick. But this one is a little more matured in the center. So it's thinking to itself, like, okay, well, did I do the right thing? Or like it's somebody possibly second guessing as well with the King of Wands. So it's usually in the upright, this is someone that's in control of their energy and control of their temper. When it's in reverse, it's like, I kind of lost it a little bit. Like I kind of lost control of my temper or my words in one way or another. So there's a little bit of regret here. Okay, now whether that's coming from someone else's side or yours, just know there's a little bit of a volatility around communication in this time. So just keep that in mind as you move through the week. Let's keep moving over to the Eight of Pentacles and see what's happening. And we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Eight of Pentacles here for my Aquarians? Thank you. And trying to make it right. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups in the upright underneath this Eight of Pentacles. This feels very apologetic and sympathetic to me here on the back end. Now, I will say this, if somebody came at you wrong, if somebody came at you in a harsh way, I do feel like there is somebody that could help talk you through it and help you like see the other side of the coin. The Queen of Cups is a person you can speak to. It's a person you could talk to. It's a very soft, loving, nurturing type of energy. So again, if you're not connected to fire signs and water signs and all that, when I see her underneath the Eight of Pentacles, it's like someone saying, you know what? Let me help you fix this, or let's talk through this. It's a much softer energy right here on the back end than what we have going on up here. Okay, because all this is a little wild, all this is a little aggressive. This one here on the back end is like, all right, well, let's fix it. Like it's much more caring and nurturing than what I'm picking up here on the front end. So again, Aquarius, with all the different court cards and people and all this swirling type of energy, I think you're going to have a very interesting week this week. But there's like this strong emphasis around communication. However, I don't see permanent damage here. Yes, there's this energy of a serious, stern talk or hitting someone with that truth. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's like permanent damage or anything like that. It's something that can be mended. And also, if this is something that's happened in the past, if you've had a fallout with somebody, there could be a little bit of regret, and there could also be someone that wants to make it right. That's very possible. But again, like there's a little volatility around talking here. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. Position number 1, we're starting off here with the Page of Wands and Ace of Swords in the upright. Like I said, you might hit someone with the stone cold facts, the truth of a situation, and you're just going to tell it like it is. Either that or somebody else does that and they don't even realize how they're coming off. It's like, I'm going to talk before I think type of energy. Again, for some of you, this could be a very serious talk. And I did also say, if there's any situations where there's blank spots and you need some information, you can acquire it and you should. Moving to the center, we have the Three of Swords and the King of Wands in reverse. And now this could be someone that might feel like they've been a little too heavy-handed. There was a little regret there, like, okay, did I do too much? Or did I do too much? That's kind of how it feels to me. And it could be somebody feeling bad. Absolutely. Or having like little pieces of regret. Moving to the back end, this is where the repairing comes in. We have the Eight of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups in the upright. So again, whether this is an outside individual or party, I see a mending of those emotions, which is really good. And this is a softer touch, which I've been saying since the very beginning. Like, we have the fire, air, but then the earth grounds it down. So again, there's an apologetic fixing type of energy happening here as well, Aquarius. So please take a screenshot if you'd like. Maybe you're the fixer, for all I know. But let's see what's in the shadows for you. What's happening in the shadows for Aquarius? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out here for you, my good friends. What's happening? What is in the shadows? Thank you. Page of Swords. More people. So, like, throughout this whole spread, there's been a big emphasis on, like, different individuals, different people. You might be more popular than you normally are, my good friends. Now, this is a card that could represent you, the Page of Swords. Lots of similarities to this energy I was picking up here on the front end. Now, the Page of Swords is called the Watcher of the tarot deck. It's someone that's very analytical and plan-based. So for a portion of you, maybe Spirit's asking you to look at a situation a little further before you get into this serious conversational type of vibe. This page can be a little defensive and pulled back, not as gung-ho as this energy we're picking up here in the front. Now, for a portion of you, when we see the Page of Swords in the shadows, there could be somebody that has you under the microscope as well, okay? Or there's someone that you should be paying attention to when this card shows up as a shadow card. Okay, defensive, but it's communicative. All the things that we've been seeing throughout the reading, the Page of Swords is. So it totally fits with what we've been seeing here. I could say, like, yeah, Aquarius, like, if we're going really deep in psychological, since you're an air sign, I could be like, oh, well, there could be some behaviors that were learned in childhood that are still sticking with you. We're not going to go into that full dissection because we'll be here for like another hour. But when I see this Page of Swords, very simple, and it fits in with the name of the game with the reading. Okay, so there might be something you need to look at a little closer. And yeah, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the September subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks of all time, the beautiful Wizard's Tarot. It's gorgeous and it works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, where would you like to go for your dream vacation? What are you manifesting? Let me know. Let's bring it to fruition. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again.